says this case is the most horrific that he has seen in his 28 years in law enforcement. How did the police get involved in this episode? There was a call to the house?
Yes, and I'll tell you, Dr. Phil, we in law enforcement see a lot of bad stuff, and there's a few things that will stick with you through your career of law enforcement. This is one of them. We got a call of a 16-year-old and his stepdad fist fighting in the front yard. Deputies respond, we get out there and separate them. The 16-year-old starts saying, look, we're fighting because he came home and saw that I let my 5-year-old stepbrother out of the closet. He was hungry, he was crying, he's being abused. The deputies immediately go inside the house, start looking for the 5-year-old. A few minutes later, we're told by witnesses on the scene that the stepmother, moments before our deputies arrived, had fled the location with the child.
Why would she flee the scene?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, we did have dialogue with her that night. It took us 26 hours to actually recover this kid. We were told lie after lie after lie by both her and the husband.
What kind of lies were they telling for 26 hours?
One case, she said that the dad took the child to Alabama. She talked to one of the officers and told the officer that he has strep throat, she'd take him to a doctor in the Woodlands. We were on a wild goose chase, basically.
How did you ultimately recover the child?
We resorted to tracking their cell phones. We went parking lot to parking lot, motel room to motel room, and we found the vehicle at a motel. A few minutes later, we see the dad, Bradley, who knows we're looking for the child, come out of the hotel room.
So they know you've asked to see the child, but they're withholding the child. Was that a crime at that point?
At that point, we really wanted to check the welfare of the child. When we confronted the dad, he did let us in the room, and the minute the deputies saw the child, they saw bruises on his head, injuries to the front of the head, the back of the head. They immediately arrested the dad on the spot and the stepmother. They called an ambulance immediately for the 5-year-old.
Okay, so you go inside the home looking for the child and he's not there.
Yes. They were led to this closet area where the child had been kept. We had 2 independent witnesses at the scene that said the child had been in that closet. They had the door barricaded and they don't let him out. Minutes after the officers went back outside, they were told by the 16-year-old, hey, if you're looking for the child, he's gone. She left with him right before y'all got here. A babysitter reported to us that there was possible abuse of this child. And we immediately went to the location, tried to see the kid. They wouldn't let us. It took us 9 days to physically, we literally had to have a deputy sit outside that house for hours waiting for them to come home or make movement. January the 29th, the stepmother drives up in the driveway. The deputy approaches her and says, hey, we want to see the child in question. And the stepmother said, you're not coming in my house. And then at that point, the dad, Bradley, comes to the door and says, yeah, y'all can come in and see the kids. So the deputy goes in and physically sets eyes on the kid in question. And she puts in her report, he looked healthy, he looked okay. So whatever his condition that transpired occurred from that day to present.
From January 29th till now?
To present, yes.
When you ultimately did recover the child, what did he look like?
He was malnourished. He had bumps, bruises, cuts on his head. They had him dressed in just bulky clothes, like a hoodie and some pants that were like 3 sizes too big.
Was this taken the day he was recovered?
Yes, sir.
Was that diaper on him when he was found?
Yes.
Okay. And then this picture as well?
Yes. And there were some that we just couldn't release.
They were just too bad?
Yeah. Just pathetic. I mean, just never seen anything like it in my career, and it's horrific.
Right. What was his reaction to the police coming in?
I asked the sergeant on the scene that actually was the first one in the door. He said he kind of rolled off the bed and just kind of staggered toward him. He said he could barely walk. And he said it's a scene that he's never seen nothing like that ever before.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.